Hi, ladies. I am so glad you tuned in here today. I am Deepti Jain, and I help mompreneurs start and grow their businesses online. Now, if you're just starting out with your business or have an idea and are just rearing to get it off the ground and up and running, then listen up because you're going to find today's discussion particularly useful. Because one of the very first decisions that often we struggle with when we are at that stage of just getting a business up and running and just started is how to create a website and where to create it and what to do with this whole you need your own website thing, right? So that's exactly what I'm going to be talking about today. Today, I'm going to be talking about three options, three easy kind of do-it-yourself options that you have for getting your website up and running and started. Now, I'm not going to be talking about outsourcing your website design, and you can certainly do that if you want, but that can be an expensive option, and frankly, often, depending on what business you're doing, kind of an unnecessary one. So let's go ahead and get started. Without further ado, I'm going to tell you about three broad categories of where you can look to build your website and the pros and cons of each one, okay? So if you're ready to hear those, give me a hashtag ready. Give me that hashtag ready. All right. So the first option for considering where to build your website is WordPress. You've probably heard of WordPress. There are many sites on WordPress, and it's my personal favorite actually. I have many sites on WordPress and I love it. The biggest reason I love it, well, there are many reasons why, but one of the big reasons I really love doing sites on WordPress is because it's free. It's completely free. Thank you, Charu, for that hashtag ready. All right, so I like not spending too much money when it's completely unnecessary and saving my money for the times when it is necessary. So WordPress is free. The second thing is WordPress is very flexible. You can make your site look however you want and it can be, to your liking. And the third one is that WordPress makes your sites really flexible and scalable in terms of what you want to do. So if your business really grows, which is of course the hope, right? If your business really grows, then you are going to want to be on WordPress. It's scalable. You want to do things like SEO, search engine optimization, and stuff like that. I love WordPress. Okay, I'm a fan. Those are all the pros. Now I'm going to tell you the con. I think the biggest con is that there is a little bit of a learning curve. It's not difficult to do, but it's not as easy as some of the other options that I'll be going over now, okay? So it's a little bit of a learning curve, slightly trickier to do. It's not a plug and play, just kind of turnkey option. It isn't. So that's WordPress. Now, as usual, I do have a resource for you guys which summarizes everything I'm saying and in fact gives a little bit more info as well about what kind of things to consider when you're choosing one of these platforms. So don't take any notes, just go ahead and listen up and then you can ask for that handout at the end, okay? All right, so option number one was WordPress. Option number two is e-commerce ready solution, kind of like Shopify or BigCommerce. Now, as you can tell from my way of describing those options, these make a lot of sense if you are a strict e-commerce site. If you're selling a product, right? Or multiple products, then an e-commerce ready site like Shopify or BigCommerce may be the way to go. So pros, it's completely turnkey for e-commerce stores and it looks pretty and you can do really nice things like you see on the really fancy sites, like you click on a product and it turns around or shows different product views, all that cool stuff. Your payment processor and accepting credit card payments and all that stuff is just completely built in. You don't have to do anything about it. It's really easy. Okay, so that's something to consider if you have an e-commerce store. Those are the pros. The cons, it's not really suitable for anything other than e-commerce. That's one con. The second con is that it has recurring fees and recurring costs, whatever you want to call them, fees, costs, payments per month. Shopify, for example, I have a few Shopify stores and that starts at $29 a month, okay? Which isn't cheap if you're going to do that every single month. Of course, it isn't too expensive either if you compare it to the option of outsourcing your site to a designer or something like that, right? Or the amount of time you might spend trying to get something like that up and running, right? So now, That's the pros and cons of kind of those Shopify type e-commerce sites. But I do like them for e-commerce. Okay. The third option, and maybe one of the most attractive ones for some of you watching, is to go with a DIY, do-it-yourself, really easy, really turnkey, and really cheap solution. Okay, and I think I'm sure you've seen ads for these, because I don't know what kind of ad budget they have. It's crazy. It's all over the place. At least for me, those ads pop up all the time, right? That's a solution like Wix, like Weebly, like Squarespace, where they're just ready to go, and it's a turnkey solution, very easy to set up. So lots of pros there that I just mentioned. Easy to set up, relatively very cheap, and you can get them up and running like that. I don't think there's any technical know-how required. I have not yet myself created a site on one of these type of sites, and in fact, it's on my to-do list to do that one of these days. If enough of you want me to do that and kind of give you a heads up on what that actually looks like, or walk you through that, I'm happy to do that. Just let me know in the comments below. But in the interest of full disclosure, I will say I have not actually myself used one of these options yet. And the reason for that is, and here's the negative coming up, these are not really that scalable or that flexible in terms of really growing your business next step, right? But one of the things that's not a bad idea is to start off on something like this that's really easy to do, so that that's not a barrier holding you back. And then later, as you grow and as you flourish, then maybe migrate over to another kind of platform that's more scalable and more flexible. That, of course, means that you're signing up for a little bit of trouble up ahead. So it depends on when you want to endure the pain of kind of creating a fully customizable and fully scalable solution. But that's number 3. So in recap again, option number 1, WordPress. Option number 2, e-commerce ready solutions such as Shopify or BigCommerce. And option number 3, do-it-yourself quick type of sites, which might be suitable for various things such as e-commerce, your own blog, your services, etc. The Wix, Squarespace, Weebly, etc. category. Okay, so those are the 3 options, ladies. And I'm sure there are a ton others, but these are the 3 that come to my mind, or that I've seen most of, or that I've used most of. And I told you the pros and cons of that. I have summarized these pros and cons in a handout that you can get simply by commenting and asking for it, or clicking on the link that I've included somewhere near here where you're watching this video. And the URL is deeptijainconsulting.com/your website. deeptijainconsulting.com/your website. And that's it for today, I think. Hope you enjoyed that, and let me know in the questions below if you have any specific comments, any specific things you want me to talk about next time in the context of websites. All right? Okay, terrific. That's it for today. And ladies, remember, don't forget, we can and we will. Until next time, bye-bye.